Testing. 1, 2, 3, boys.
Nice.
Where are you guys at? Where are you guys at?
I'm home in Squamish here. Just chilling.
Squamish.
I'm home in Oslo right now. Just at home.
And I'm at my house in San Diego. So I've been a Burton staff photographer a long time, as you guys know. And Zach Nigro from Burton Marketing asked me to put together a little slideshow while we're all at home in quarantine, and little recollection of a good trip we had a couple of years ago. And not that special for you guys as you do this stuff in Whistler every day, but figured we could all look at it and shoot around about what went down that 3-day period a long time ago.
Yeah, totally. It's always so fun going through old photos and remembering the times.
For sure.
This particular trip was 2016, 3-day window where we had, I think, clouds and snow the first day and the last day with a sunny day mixed in. So do you guys want to just introduce yourselves and we can get into it?
Yeah, I'm Mikey Rencz.
Sure.
I live Squamish, BC. I've written for Burton for like 26 years or something. And I spent a lot of winters with Leyland and Mikkel. And just stoked to check out these photos and do a little tour.
Yeah, for sure. I'm Mikkel Bang, good friend of Mikey and Leyland. I live in Norway, but I do go to Canada quite often because it's for sure one of the best places to snowboard in the world. And you're going to get a little peep at what we did. Was it 2016? This one?
Yeah, you guys were filming for the Snowboarder movie this year, I believe.
Yeah.
Should I intro?
Yeah, intro.
I'm Aaron Leyland, filmer. I live in Squamish, and I love going through these old photos and thinking back just about all the little in-between moments. That's kind of my favorite kind of thing, I think, almost.
Cool, boys. Well, let's do it.
Yeah.
So these photos are pretty linear as far as like how stuff went down. We started the morning at the trailhead, which is the average day for you guys, and let's start clicking through these. Okay, Mikey, lead us away here.
All right. Yeah. So this is just classic parking lot loading up. It's like a really good pinpoint for the year because there was the actual like Burton Ski-Doo collab that year, and it had the really like couch-sized seat and the safari print on it.
It even had like a thing you could hold on to. They could like double it with like
it had like a crazy like horse strap on the middle of the seat.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just pretty much like usual morning routine. Just unload your sled, get all your gear on, and then start heading up into the mountains.
All right.
And this one is that's at Rutherford. I think the 3 days we went up, we went Rutherford 3 times.
Yeah, I think that year we spent a lot of time out there for sure.
Yeah.
Have you guys spent much time up there this season?
No,
not really. No, not in the last couple of years, really.
That was probably the last year that we really rode there a lot, I think.
Yeah.
That was a good snow year that year, and it was good down low. So, but
totally.
Okay. Well, this particular day, obviously, it's super snowy, so you can't really go up into the Alpine because you couldn't see anything. So we kind of went to this zone that you guys frequent or you don't frequent. Is this kind of a low mountain sort of spot you go to?
This is like a spot we go to a lot, actually. I think that's kind of why we stopped going there so much as well, because we've ridden there so much. But that's a sick photo. You can see all the pillows are cracking.
Yeah, you see all the cracking.
Like just after a storm, and the storm layers cracking off the pillows there. It's pretty neat.
This zone too is really sick because like you can't miss it, right? Like it's on the just off the side of the trail. And
so you like sled up the trail and then you just park your sled and then you just start hiking up into the pillows. And
it's kind of dreamy. I think this jump right here, I don't think we hit it that time, but that's a nice one.
Yeah, I remember I think we filled it in that day and there was still like a big log in the landing.
Oh yeah.
But then did you? Oh no, you and UC had hit that one before.
Yep.
Had really good shots on it.
Yeah, that was really, really fun jump. Little like tranny finder kind of landing, like short landing.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I think we moved.
But every year is different, right?
I think you found this one wasn't the one you were actually standing on at that point, was it?
That's a different one.
That's a different, yeah.
That's kind of the beauty of that spot. There's just so many. It's just a big boulder field, and there's so many takeoffs. And when it's deep, like you can just use everything as a landing, like just all the corners of the pillows, and even use some of these alder trees sometimes as a landing. Like you can just kind of hit anywhere.
This must have been in like January, I guess, eh?
I think so, yeah. End of January, maybe.
Okay, yeah.
Is it, as the season goes on, obviously it just becomes less and less featured?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's kind of low too, so as the season goes on, it starts to just be a little bit too warm in there.
Okay.
It's like definitely early season, like January, February.
Yeah, with all the alders sticking out, yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because
Mikkel got busy on this one.
Yeah,
to stay.
I remember that hike right there. It doesn't look that bad, but it took a long time to get up there.
Yeah, I remember that one. It's like that other thing we were just standing on is like just around the corner there.
Yeah. I remember that was quite the hike. It doesn't really look like it, but it was so deep, and yeah, it just took forever. You got to the top and you're just soaked pretty much, even with the Gore-Tex.
I actually remember like a personal battle in my mind on do you shoot this vertical or horizontal?
Yeah.
Just because it was far away and you kind of wanted to show the landscape as much as you wanted to show the snowboarding.
Yeah, totally. I think it's such a sick looking zone because just all the pillows are just, it just looks so fun.
I mean, as somebody not from BC, like that's kind of what you dream of when you think of BC.
For sure. It's like it's
endless pillows.
Right? Just nice.
We have some photos of just the pillow zone in a few more. I think this
photo is insane. Oh, holy shit. You gotta say, that should be the Fimby ad, dude. The snowshoe ad.
Totally.
What are these snowshoes you got right here?
That's the Fimby. It's Fimbulvetter. It's like a Norwegian snowshoe brand.
Okay.
Yeah, they're really good. You use them every time.
So I think at this point you had went up and got your stuff and we were going to a different zone, but before
there we go.
Leyland had to get a little snack in here.
Yeah.
Classic Leyland, eh?
Little pizza break.
Dude, Leyland, even this year, you were on your A game this year with the food. I guess you always are, but
well, that one there would have probably been when I had like the muff pot. So like that was like before we knew about panel cooking and
what is that other thing you had? The thing that boils? It's like a science project. That's my new one for the soups. But that pizza was probably cooked in this metal container that's like attached to the exhaust. Yeah,
on the snowmobile.
Yeah, and those are sweet because they're like contained and they don't make a mess. But you have to like flip all the time, and you can only fit like one slice of pizza in. Now I can cook like a whole pizza if I wanted to.
Yeah,
and just tell everybody how it cooks.
Yeah, so on this one, there's actually like a can that goes onto the muffler, and it gets hot just from riding your sled. And you put your food in the can, so you could do anything that would fit in the can, pizza or wings. I did pizza and wings for the most part, probably.
Yeah.
And you just rip around, it gets hot, throw your food in. You kind of
you go boondocking.
Yeah, you gotta go boondocking. And you kind of have to ride around to get those ones hot. Now, we got a new method now. So.
this photo I think is you guys actually having lunch after we went to the first spot.
Yeah.
And I think at this point we were kind of trying to figure out what we were going to do next. Mikey, you guys had, I think, hit something up to the right before at this place, hadn't you?
Yeah, totally.
Is that how we knew?
I'm just getting my bearings here. Well, like we've been riding in there for so long. Like generally the stuff on the, like that's like behind me there is a little more south facing. So that's kind of like, usually don't ride in there quite as much. But the stuff like on the angle where you're taking the photo from is kind of where the majority of the riding goes down.
Okay.
But yeah, so I'm, and then here now we're just going to head up the trail a little bit further and just get onto the other boulder face that's more north facing again.
I think this was
really sweet. Yeah. Like when the snow is good and on cloudy days, you can just go in there and pick and choose. It's really easy and it's
so fun.
And I know from like you guys see this stuff daily, but you know, I don't go to Whistler all that much. So every time I'm up there, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like,
it's just
these
insane,
zones are insane.
Yeah, totally. This one's cool. Like you can see our takeoff on the Liquors right is just like, it's like an old stump or something.
What trick, Mikey?
And I was trying to do a chicane and it kind of worked out, but it was a little more of like cab, like Todio. But that was my attempt at a chicane. I think it's in my part that it's either in the. I remember this year all my extra footage went to the Wildcats movie, and so it's either in the snowboarder movie or it's in the Wildcats movie. But yeah, that one's cool. That's a jump. Me and Mikkel have hit that jump like quite a few times together.
Like, it's definitely like an easy one. Like
quick little warm up.
It's just right there, easy hike, and
it always works.
Nice little landing.
What about? Sorry, Leyland. Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I always think that this place, like, it's like doubles for Japan, kind of, like, because it has all like the alder trees, and you can just do like little ollies and catch like 10 feet of air here and there, and people are like, "Hey, like, do you like riding in Japan?" I go, "No, I just go to Rutherford Creek."
yeah, no doubt.
That's sick.
What trick were you doing here, Mikkel?
I think that was I was trying to use like front 5 tuck knees, if I'm not mistaken.
So,
yeah, was it cab 5 or
no? It was front 5 tuck knee, I think.
Okay,
I'm pretty sure, or maybe it was cab 5.
Does that tell you anymore? That's the front angle of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Leyland, I believe I shot this standing next to you, right? This angle?
I'm confused. So. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's hard.
Because I think this was the. Oh no! I mean, I get my years a little bit blurred on this stuff because we shot it like probably like 2 or 3 years in a row.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking this was the one where Mikey just does like a no grab air that I shot straight on. But I mean,
that's a little bit more lookers left.
But that was 2014. So.
Okay.
Yeah, this was we were on the chicane tip.
Oh yeah. Sure. This year, Leyland had if anyone did a chicane, we would get a case of beer. But nobody, and we never ended up getting one or trying one. It's a good deal.
Damn it. Yeah. Nobody got it.
Yeah.
Here's just a photo of the beauty of it all. And that's a framer right there. And I think you guys actually had talked about wanting to just go up and do a top to bottom line because it looks so fun.
Yeah,
totally.
Just ride it, right?
So here are a couple photos I think of you guys just riding it. I always like this one a lot.
I'm sick. It's so hard to link up like a whole run down there.
Yeah.
So good for like kind of the one-off things, but we just had to try and do a full run down there.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what a lot of people don't know is a lot of those pillows are actually uphill landings, right?
Yeah, and there's like also like flat light also because usually when we ride the south facing stuff, it's in the on like storm days and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's just like completely white out and like pillows going up, holes, whatever. So you really gotta snipe your way through.
Is it kind of a hang on for dear life sort of thing, or
it's like a rodeo.
Right. Totally.
Yeah, it's not too often you get like decent visibility like a day like this. Like normally we're shooting through like so much mist or fog or snow. Like this was actually like pretty much like unlimited viz. Like you have good contrast all the way through, where like someone might do a sick run, but it's just so foggy it doesn't really translate a lot of the time.
Yeah, it doesn't really do justice. Like,
Leyland, do you find from a filming perspective too, it's pretty hard to get like long pillow lines that film well?
I mean, I would like, this is more of like a pillow, like a boulder field, like more like, and like less like pillow line, I'd say.
Right, like a line, yeah.
But like, yeah, like a top to bottom run on something like this is kind of tricky to film just for the riding, because like they usually end up landing on an uphill on one, or
right,
or like it doesn't totally line up all the time, but sometimes you get lucky.
It's kind of hard to get like a full good flow.
Yeah,
sometimes through like a face like this, but
yeah, you're dumping speed like every when you go off, pretty much.
You know, once you surf in snow, you just don't go back. It's too much fun.
Snowboarding is my lifestyle. It's what I do, like the people I hang out with. It's what I get excited for.
Obviously the boards and mountains that I'm riding have changed, but the feeling of snowboarding doesn't change.
What I love most is being able to share the stoke.
I hope it never stops. I hope I'm always gonna have this much fun riding.
And then this was right at the end.
Thirsty guy right here.
Yeah, and like where else in the world can you just do this? Like fill up to drink. I don't think there's that many places in the world that you'd feel comfortable doing that.
Especially after hiking. You got to fill your bottle.
Is that a normal thing, drinking out of the streams?
Yeah.
Never had a problem.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. But yeah, because I think, so that this is still the same day, I think, right? And we've been hiking up and down those those zones
pillows
all day.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think we got back to the trailhead, and something happened to your sled, so
that's,
we got a little
that's just
skag repair.
Letter's life. Look at the like shield I have on the sled there.
Yeah.
See that? Holy shit.
I was thinking maybe Mikkel was doing a hot maneuver pulling into his track and he just flipped it too.
Oh shit. You never know.
Okay, so I think that was the end of the first day. Mm-hmm. And then now we woke up in the morning and it was glorious. Super early wake up.
I remember this day. I think like we had like a lot of storm days. And this was our first like sunny day in a long time. And I remember, if I'm not wrong, that we were kind of just like, shit, all right, let's go. Like it's sunny, kind of like always, you know?
Yeah, totally.
And
what spot was it?
Yeah. This is all Rutherford, right? So
yeah.
But I think it was you, Mikey, that spotted this pat down.
Yeah, I'd hit that once before with arrow, and it kind of like it only fills in occasionally. There's like this, you'll see in a second, like this super like kind of sniper landing that if it's too windy or whatever, it just doesn't fill in at all. So I think we just pulled up, and it's kind of like right there when you pull into the Alpine in Rutherford.
Yeah.
And yeah, there's like the nice landing in the kind of where the snowballs are in the shade bit there.
Yeah. Sick.
Yeah, so it actually is a pretty small landing for that size of a drop, huh?
Yeah, and it's like it's really steep too.
Yeah, you first
definitely
tracked this one
had
too,
like it, yeah, definitely. Yeah, I remember he landed that one, but the landing is like it's like you can't really drift. Like here, it looks like you can land far to the looker's right, but you kind of need to land where the snowballs are.
Yeah, I think this one too, I landed really close to the rock, and I was like, all right, okay, we won't go any more riders right off the takeoff.
Yeah.
It looks so thin in there looking at that photo now.
It kind of does, doesn't it?
Yeah. Looks like there's like maybe 5 feet of snow in there.
We're like, shit, Sonny.
Like for sure, after he landed the first one, like there's rocks. I think there was rocks in the...
Was there?
So,
Mikey, you were doing front 3 because I remember you went front 3 then cab 3, right?
Yeah. So that was front 3, and that one worked out. I think that shot's in my part.
And then Mikkel, what trick were you doing here?
Definitely.
I did a switchback one. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that one is sick.
Switchback one, and then I don't remember if I did anything more. Right?
I think
might have done front 5.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, maybe front 5.
And then I think because we both got those first ones, and then we were trying to go more riders left off it, but it was just getting a little bit too flat.
Yeah. Hey?
I
always like this shot of you, Mikey, because it kind of just showed like how stoked you were that you just first tracked.
Just taking a gander.
Yeah, just the way with the coloring on this, just the way it flared out.
But you can see it.
Totally.
Look how deep it is. Like if you see the snowmobile track right there, like I remember that day, like when you landed the snow, it was just like perfect, right? Like,
deep and dry.
Yeah, really
For
good.
sure. Yeah, you can tell how good the snow is there. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Check footy check.
Little footy review. Leyland, tell me about your setup right here, your camera setup.
I was looking at that earlier, and I was just looking at the dovetail on my tripod is like super long. That's the part that goes into the tripod, and I don't use that one anymore.
Dude, this photo is classic.
Yeah, nothing much has changed. I mean, that's pretty like.
Dude, I want that picture on my wall or something.
What camera setup is it though?
It's my Red Epic MX, the 25-250. Pretty classic snowboard filming setup right there. Yeah.
And you can keep that built in your bag.
Yeah. That would have stayed. Yeah, I'm trying to think. Like, yeah, I've been running it built in my bag probably since 2015, I guess. My buddy Pascal Gallant always used to give me a hard time. He'd be like, you use that lens 95% of the time. You need to keep it built. You'll be faster. And it was actually the best advice I could have gotten.
So one of the things that's fun to do, like in between shots, I guess, is when the filmers go sledding.
Yeah, Johnny T.
Oh yeah, it's I don't know if I was trying to go 12 o'clock there, but it's more like a 9.
Yeah.
But,
I still like it because you can see yourself on it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I like the roost track coming out, and you're probably cooking some food.
Oh,
yeah,
that is what you were doing. Yeah.
No backpack on.
Dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that one I remember. I just want to tell because this it was really. So it took a while to make it really nice, and we finally made it really nice. And then these skiers show
in
up.
relation to what though, Mikkel?
To get to the pat down, the jump,
the double up on the snowmobile was really steep, and it was so deep that we had to make a nice trail to get each other up to the top.
Yeah, instead of hiking, right? So and these skiers showed up, and for some reason they started going up, started doubling up our track. You remember that? And fully ruined it, and it got super awkward there for a moment.
Yeah,
totally. And it's kind of etiquette that if you have a tricky tandem line, people just, if other people show up, they're not going to use it because they know you need to utilize that to get back to the top.
Yeah.
For your own personal thing. And then I remember they were over on the side, really close to us, and they were just tumbling down the cliffs, and the one dude lost his ski. What are you guys doing? And the one dude told me that he paid his taxes, so he's allowed to use our track.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
I've been waiting for that story for a long time.
I totally forgot about that.
the best part about that is like the zone we're at here is like potentially one of the biggest snowmobile zones in the world. Like it's like 500 square kilometers, and the idea that they're 100 feet away from us using the double track is like pretty mind blowing.
Yeah.
Like you can go anywhere. There's so much good stuff.
It's endless. It's endless.
Yeah.
Especially when it's sunny.
And bury their sleds.
So this was a shot. This ran in a couple of mags, I think. Did you guys only hit this thing 3 times or something? Twice, 3 times?
I think I hit it twice.
I think I might have hit it like maybe 3 times or so, because I did the front 3 and then I was trying the cab 3s. And
this was you see your track, Mikey, the first track there.
Yeah, right next to that rock.
Yeah.
This one was one, I think, like this was more of Leyland's angle, maybe. I remember I was kind of battling with which way to shoot this thing. I actually ended up liking, for this particular trick, I like this side angle a little better.
Yeah, I like that too. The stream, the snow stream is sick.
Shot nice. And then mirror image of the other trick you did. Cab 3 nose, right, Mikey?
Yeah, cab 3. And then, so I was kind of going over to the landing over here a little bit more. It was a little flatter, a little more difficult, but I really like that trick. It's Gigi Rough classic.
Yeah.
I think we got a sequence of that, actually. And then, this is just an example of how endless the terrain is.
Yeah, it just goes.
What's that range called, Leyland?
Well, that's just like that would just be what would that be? It'd be like the north side of Apple Lake, basically, and like that thing is like you only see that's just the one first set of mountains, and it goes on. I think you have another one coming up that really shows like you can see mountains for like 60 kilometers.
And I remember after that we kind of went sledding to look at some stuff, find a good lunch spot. These were some shots I shot of you, Leyland. Just kind of shows the scenery a bit.
Yeah. Oh yeah, we're in the Corey Caniniac zone there, maybe.
Yeah.
Upper.
Then this was our little lunch spot for the day, which was pretty cool.
Oh, by the ice cave. Yeah.
That's one I shot on film, actually.
Yeah, I was just remembering that. That was sick.
That year there was some like film photo exhibition thing, and they wanted a snow photo, so that's the one we shot for that.
Cool.
And then these were just some random sledders off in the distance. But
enough of those guys. A bunch of those guys out there.
But I always love the photos you guys take, like you, Aaron, and I know Solers has taken some recently of just the wide open meadows, like with sleds. It's something you don't see everywhere.
Yeah, no doubt. Yeah,
the crevasses there too.
This zone here too, like just to show like how Rutherford, like you'll cross the glacier for a bit and then you just duck down into one little corner and there can be like a whole new zone to ride in.
And you can pretty much access all that, right?
Yeah, more or less. Kind of depending on like snow levels and stuff with the crevasses and time of year and whatnot. And then here too, like we're looking back into like all the other sled zones too.
Yeah, that's a sick example. Like you can see Brandywine on the far left, and then the mountain in the kind of dead center. That's in Squamish, and we're on the Pemberton Ice Cap. So
wow,
that mountain is like, I'm guessing that mountain's probably like 60 or 70 kilometers away, maybe more. Yeah,
it's a lot of terrain.
Yeah, you're on like the biggest mountain on Pemberton Ice Cap, and then you're looking at the biggest mountain in Squamish. So pretty cool.
And then this was the following day. We went back to Rutherford, I believe. Different zone. I don't remember where exactly this was. Was this just on that same road?
I remember we. I think we went up. We were farther up by the cabin.
Yeah.
And then we hiked like way up that kind of.
Oh, up at Abbey Path.
Yeah. I don't know if it's. Yeah, it might be. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, it is kind of the Abbey Pass, isn't it?
Is that where you did the method, Mikkel?
No, I think this is a different spot.
Stalefish.
If you see the river right there?
Oh, yeah. This is still off the trail.
Yeah.
This is still off the trail, yeah.
So,
this is close to where we went the first day.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we were kind of just trying to make something happen because at this point it was snowing so hard.
Yeah.
I had lugged a flash up there because I've always been so inspired by this photo that Froda shot of Nicholas.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The cover of an Absinthe movie, and it was like a backlit flash pillow shot.
Oh yeah, I remember that one.
And full Froda inspiration here.
Cool.
These ones were always
I like
fun.
that stale. It's sick.
Pretty fun to shoot a straight air in a pillow field, I think.
Yeah, I don't think we had hit that one before.
No,
it's like really funky.
Yeah, it's the pillows in there are like all over the place. Hey, like our landing was sort of like in between those two pillows. They're kind of like it's like the small little tranny finder.
Yeah,
kind of probably more made for the photo this spot, right? Rather than the video shot.
Regardless, it was fun, but
yeah, totally. I like that. That stale shot is super sick.
Yeah,
and then we went to another spot you guys knew about.
Yeah, they were farther up by the cabin. That one's sick. I like that one.
Yeah, that's a cool shot.
I always like this one. I really like how your arms are in this one.
As a front one, and then obviously the takeoff on the right there. Oh, there we go. We're going to get into chicane territory.
I like this one, dude. We're going. Too bad that we didn't have to deal with the beer at that time.
I remember this spot was like right next to the trail, right? It was
this was
kind of a no-brainer, just fun little air.
Yeah.
And that's why we incorporated you in there, Mikey, to try to spice it up a little something.
Yeah. I like that one.
I like this one too.
It's the same one too.
Yeah, it is, for sure.
Yeah.
You run it a lot of times in the Pacific Northwest, though, the shots with the trees like straight behind the ride are pretty challenging as far as
totally
photos go.
Need some bright colors.
You need some bright colors.
Camouflage pants too.
Yeah. I'm just checking my stance. Looks huge there too.
This was
you gotta pay to play, right?
Yeah.
Oh man, my goggles are torched.
There actually is a huge smiling photo.
Swear, it looks like I have snow in my mouth too.
Oh yeah.
Great.
But you know what, man? It's really fun to look at a photo like this when you've been in quarantine and you're like, I missed that. Even
totally.
You know.
100%.
Good photo, Mikey. I always like this one.
Yeah, it's a good one. Dude, Mikey, your hair is so long.
Yeah. And I got the up your butt on the belly panel.
It's crazy how old those sleds look now, and it's like those are only 4 years old, but they just look like relics.
They look dated, huh?
Crazy.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know.
Cool.
Okay, so this one, is this the Abbey Path you were talking about?
Yeah, I think so. It's like a creek bed.
Yes. So we would have kind of like started up the creek bed, and then looks like we're going up the Abbey Path here, but then we banked left into the pillow field up to the left there.
Yeah.
Little.
Yeah, we're in the trees now.
Dude, so
we hiked way up there.
Yeah, that was a long hike, eh?
Yeah, and honestly, I think at this point it was snowing so hard, we're kind of like, what can we even still do right now?
That's a sick photo.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, that one's cool with the ice in the back.
Yeah, I was really excited about this ice cliff here.
Dude, I remember, like, we've been driving past this spot for so many years, and I've always seen that rock at the top there, and like, that's just the perfect like nub, you know. We gotta get up there.
I think though, like
wouldn't mind going back to that one for sure.
Yeah, I've never been back to that one.
Yeah.
For photos, anytime you're shooting through heavy snow like this, it's so hard to make the subject look sharp because you're shooting through a filter of snow. But this one worked out pretty good. I like that. That's a classic Mikey look right there.
I like to explain like about these zones too. It's like once you like hike into the boulder field, you'll find so many other options. It's like we hiked up there for that one specific nub just to like kind of check it out and hope that it worked. And then I think we hit like 2 or 3 other things in there just on our way back down too, because everything just you're just kind of like, oh, like there's the takeoff, there's a landing.
Absolutely.
You're like, yeah. I remember this was a pretty hot. At this point, we're so hot from hiking too, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of like warmer storm too. Like the snow was definitely a little heavy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can see like
Mikey did, because I remember I hit that thing too, but couldn't land. That's probably why I'm so wet too.
That was the first time you tried the roll. Remember that?
yeah, that's true. Yeah, that was the first time.
Yeah,
like I didn't.
Like, I've been thinking about this trick for a while. Like I'm gonna try it out.
Yeah, it didn't work.
I don't know. It was close. It was sick.
It was close.
And then this ad came out of it, which was pretty cool, I thought.
Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah, best in snow.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then this feature I remember was right next to it, right?
Yeah, that was just below.
Yeah, totally. Like the landing for the other feature is like just up to our right there, I think.
Classic Mikkel method.
Yeah, no doubt.
Sick. Yeah, that was a fun little zone. Wouldn't mind going back there.
Yeah.
One time.
Yeah, that's good in there.
Then I remember this was on the way down. We just quickly.
Yeah, I think you can see. I don't know. I think the other thing that Mikkel had just had the method on is like just kind of under my tail in the back there. Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah, these bushes right behind here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was just like a little tranny finder popper.
Step-on has brought so much convenience to my riding. I just step onto my binding and go.
The step-on is so much of a lifesaver if you're out with your family that it's unbelievable. Step-on for like shredding hard, carving, and aggressive riding is even better than a normal binding.
You can get off the lift immediately and click in, and all of a sudden it's like you're just riding.
Yeah, ready. Then what's this one all about?
Oh, we're just at the cabin warming up.
Yep.
Yeah, we're probably trying to dry out, but it's like we're at the point of no return. We're like, just
yeah, colder. For sure. Totally.
And then this was right in that same pillow area, right?
Yeah, it's just at the bottom, like kind of at the bottom across one little creek, right on the side of the snowmobile trail. So nice little rescue cabin.
Yeah, because those cabins are open to public. Like anyone can use it if they need it, which is really cool. You can sleep there too, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've slept there once or twice. Maybe just once.
Yeah.
And then what's the deal? You just put some wood in the stove and you can chill as long as you want.
Yeah, I think that when they took the chimney out or something, you remember, Leyland? I don't think you're allowed to have fires in that one anymore.
I don't think if they put the fireplace back in, it's one of those things that's an emergency shelter, so it's not like come here and hang out for fun. It's like stay here if you need to stay here.
If you survive, yeah.
Yeah, like don't die, but don't come up here for vacation either.
Yeah, there's like a little loft upstairs, and then like right behind Mikkel's back there's like these benches that fold out into bunk beds. But yeah, it's more of like an emergency shelter.
From a photo perspective, I just thought that backlight looked really cool.
Yeah,
Always
it's
does.
sick.
Always does.
It's just the damping,
Steamy.
right? The steamy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure the lenses were quite foggy at that point.
Yeah.
And then to kind of get to the end of this thing, I remember we were riding down the sled trail and you had eyed this thing up.
Yeah, I had this idea that I wanted to do like an heir to a hand plant, kind of inspired by skateboarding somehow. But I saw that tree on the way up. That's actually on the way up to the cabin, and this one had a perfect in-run to like a quarter pipey like bank. So yeah.
Did we pre-build this? I can't remember.
Definitely had. I remember I had to fill in fill in a hole, but that was about it, and then make a little kicker. You can tell here that the kicker is like 2 or 3 feet away from the tree. So it's like
right here. And this is the long lens angle. I didn't really like this angle too much, but I thought
you can see the jump here. Kind of, it's like just a little bit to the looker's left of the tree.
That one's sick, the fish from underneath.
Yeah,
loved it.
We started trying to go bigger and bigger, right?
I think you're going goggleless there too, eh?
Dude, yeah, my goggles were fogging up. Hey, I don't know, can you zoom in? Dude,
Yeah.
Like my tongue is just sticking out. I think I look pretty nice.
I remember Leyland and I were pretty scared to get landed on at this point.
Yeah. I think I
totally
fell a couple times too. I think I took a few falls, but
I think like the way I was shooting it was like my body was kind of behind the tree almost, and I was hanging my arm out or something.
Oh yeah, I remember I had a good phone angle.
Like,
I was doing the like snowmobile pickup just down, and I was filming from my phone. And there's some good footy that like these tree things are always like, if Mikkel has the idea for it, I never really like. I can never vision it. Like,
yeah,
I can never understand it. But I'm just like, all right, if you want to build it, like I trust you. And he generally like it works out for him.
Yeah, I was.
So it's like, yeah.
I end the trip with a photo like this.
That was a hard one to shoot. I remember for sure. Like we started off long lens probably, and then we both had to get in there and get in there with the wide and just like anything beside a sled trail is hard to shoot because it's like kind of scrappy and there'll be like it doesn't look clean like long lens. I think I don't know.
Oh yeah.
But you get in there close and I don't know. That was one of my favorite shots of the season that year.
Yeah, it's sick.
Oh, cool.
Sick shot.
Yeah, it was pretty fun. It was definitely a little. I thought it was going to be pretty easy, but it was kind of scary going in like on the tree because it's so narrow and whatnot. So
and high speed, right? Pretty high speed.
Yeah, pretty high speed for sure, and like kind of quick tranny. So like, but
the facial expression makes it.
Yeah, the facial. Okay, yeah, cool. It's just
to wrap it up, like we rode down and we're just greeted by this sunset. What mountain's that, guys?
It's Mount Curry, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense. This is kind of like a very all-encompassing Rutherford couple days. Like,
yeah, really.
From the start until the end, like that's like the exact view that you get when you're going home.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think I shot like similar photos to that. Like this year, we were riding a different zone, but using the same road, and it was like really nice light on those mountains at the end of the day. And I was taking the photos. I was like, oh, I remember that day. Me and Gabe stopped here and shot those photos. That was nice.
It is really nice though. Like at the end of the day, and you get that like sunset.
No clearing.
Yeah, like sunset, like sunset before it gets dark, and it's always a nice journey home too.
Yeah, I mean, just anytime you see the mountains pop out of the clouds, it's pretty awe-inspiring, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for sure. It's so nice. Also, like not be going home in the rain.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure. Oh man.
On that road specifically, like you can tell in that photo, it's not overly bumpy, but sometimes it can be terrible. Like it can be so bumpy. Yeah,
You're just get me back.
Because it's pretty flat the whole way back. It's like 20 kilometers, and you lose on the way home. You lose all your elevation immediately, and then it's just flat for like maybe 15 or so. So you can go pretty fast, but it just depends if it's been groomed or not. So,
well, on that note, boys, let's wrap this thing.
Yeah, sick.
Sounds good.
Hopefully, sooner than later, we'll all be hanging out and doing this for real and getting past this weird time we're in right now.
Yeah, no doubt. So strange, but that was super fun to go through.
Yeah, thank you for the nice memories.
Really
Yeah,
guys, stay safe.
yeah.
Talk to you soon.
Later, dudes.
Laters.